Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 158. Tonight we're reviewing Kong Skull Island.
Little late to the game.
Basically what happened was I was with friends and they really wanted to watch Kong Skull Island, and I did. And I was like, April, we have to watch and review Kong Skull Island. Do you think I was wrong?
No, we were right.
Okay, this movie is absurd, you guys.
Well, it's odd.
It's odd.
It's an odd little movie.
Yeah.
Not little.
It's a big... Okay, this movie is fun.
Yeah.
Because it's terrible and yet well made.
It's well made.
It's like pretty.
It's got a lot of ideas.
A lot.
There were so many reflective shots of things in people's sunglasses, eyeballs, water. I was like, okay, what the fuck?
When will my reflection show who I am inside?
So good. Maybe the director's a big fan of Mulan.
Maybe. Mushu.
I think it was just like overzealous filmmaking.
I think so too.
How do you feel about King Kong movies in general?
Don't really care.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the original.
Like the black and white.
Like
Fay Ray.
And I saw the Jack Black one.
Oh, the Peter Jackson one? Yeah. Oh, that piece of shit?
Yeah. Garbage.
I saw that in the theaters, and I was like, this is terrible. But everyone I was with was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And we didn't hang out much afterwards.
I don't really care about monster movies in general too much.
Well, the Kong story always makes me sad.
Sure.
I don't like it.
No.
And so I don't ever know who I'm supposed to be rooting for.
Right, because it's like, wait, but you guys, he's just nice.
Well, it's like,
or like he's like,
you're coming into his territory and trying to, usually the story is we're going to kidnap you and take you back and you're going to be a sideshow thing in New York. That's like the usual plot. So I like that this was like, no, it's cool. We're just going to stay here. But it's always that ickiness of like, well, let's just hurt this animal for, profit and greed. Yeah. And so I never like it. I've never been a fan of that story.
Right. This movie is a mess. In so many ways.
Well, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like Full Metal Jacket with King Kong.
Yep. But then it's also like Suicide Squad for monsters with not John C. Reilly, but the other old white dude.
John Goodman?
Yeah, John Goodman.
So many people are in this movie.
So many people are in this movie. That's what I'm saying. There's like 4 different sets of plots in this movie, and it's like, okay, so John Goodman has this whole thing where he's like working for a secret science thing for the government, and he wants to go find out about these monsters that live on this island. At the end of the movie, there's like this horrible extra sequence.
Well, it was crazy. So Tom Hiddleston, who we will talk about, Tom Hiddleston is staring into a mirror, real hamming it up.
But it's also dark. At first it's dark, and he's like, you're just gonna sit there in the dark, aren't you?
It's complete.
You're really loving this, aren't you?
You're just gonna sit there in the dark. You're enjoying this, right? Is this fun for you?
What was that? He was talking to us, like, on some level. But in the context of the scene, who is he talking to?
To the people behind the glass.
And he's in the dark?
Yeah.
And they hadn't turned the lights on?
I don't know.
Okay, great. So he's talking to this mirror, and it was very low-key, and I was like, is Thor going to show up?
Is this fun for you?
Is Chris Hemsworth going to show up? Is this one giant crossover event?
No.
And Thor's gonna fight King Kong with his hammer. He's gonna show up at Ragnarok and be like, bah, 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 bah.
Yes.
I mean,
but no.
Would you put it past them?
Yes, just because they're different.
But like.
But no.
Would you?
No. But so instead what they're doing is Universal is now doing their dark universe. Everyone's like, oh, we have to have like a universe where all of these different franchises come together because
except
fuck
everyone was like, no.
The whole thing is they're trying to bring back, like, they're doing Godzilla and Mothman.
Is Godzilla the same universe as King Kong?
Apparently, they're making it a monsterverse.
Okay,
is what they're
because
calling
they showed like Mothra, I guess.
Mothra, not Mothman, Mothra.
Mothman.
Harvey Mothman.
Harvey Mothman. They show just like a hieroglyphs almost, or like cave paintings, and it's just like a big moth.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's Mothra? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah.
And then there's one, they didn't do this, it would have been great. There's definitely a monster in, I think, the Godzilla universe with just a knife head.
Oh,
it's just
yes. Anyway, so I think what they were trying to do was to set up all of that.
It's absurd.
With the John Goodman, like, plot line, right?
Oh, yeah, well, so he's in charge of Monarch, which was really funny because I was thinking about Venture Brothers with the Monarch and anyway, you haven't seen it at all. But, like, so the whole thing is, like, he's in charge of Monarch, which is an acronym for something very long. And I was like, oh my god, if the Monarch shows up with Dr. Girlfriend, you have literally no idea what I'm talking about, but you get it. It would have been great. It would have been great. It would have been so amazing. Crossover. Except no, I hate it. Don't want it.
Well, also, I just think that then they should have, if that's what they were doing, then they should have eliminated the whole military Sam Jackson, like, oh, like, the war's over, now we have nothing to do, let's go try and kill Kong thing.
I'm addicted to war.
Yeah. Because there was like 4 different, right? We have the Monarch people. Yeah. And the scientists with him.
Which was unnecessary.
And then there's the military escorts.
Yes. With Sam Jackson. And then there's the tracker with Tom Hiddleston and the photographer. Photojournalist.
With Brie Larson.
Yeah.
And they all have, it's like, we have to learn why Tom Hiddleston's going to get wrapped into this. Oh, he's, lost his way after the war and he's British and whatever. Like, who cares? Anyway, that's not what makes this movie funny and hilarious.
No, if anything, this movie could have used way more Tom Hiddleston.
And a lot less shirts.
Hiddleston.
I think it's Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston.
Oh boy. He, once again, hot with the right haircut.
Right?
As Loki, not hot.
No.
And he's looking good. He's filling out that t-shirt.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you really got to watch Night Manager.
Okay.
You're going to be like, oh, I thought he was hot in Kong Skull Island. Oh, there's his butt.
Good.
It was good.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly recommend Night Manager.
Okay, cool.
It's really good. And our favorite, Elizabeth Debicki, is in it.
Oh my god, yes. I like that she's like our new favorite person.
So, it's all a bunch of, let's get all these people together to get them to the island. Who cares? They get there. You know what I mean? It was like, great. I don't know. I wanted them to do something different with the Kong Skull Island Kong story. It's the same thing every time.
It's just like, exactly.
And handsome man gets there, and woman who will inevitably have Stockholm Syndrome with King Kong gets there somehow, and, random people who will die, and, like, the fat researcher man. It's the same thing. Yep. It keeps happening. But this had a tone, oh boy, I don't know.
It was like Tropic Thunder meets King Kong.
It was. It just felt very, like, rip-offy of previous Vietnam films.
Absolutely.
Like, and here's the obligatory CCR song, and here's the, flying through the helicopters where we're playing music. It was a lot. And I was like, why? What are we doing this for? Why is this what? Was Vietnam the best allegory for Kong? Why that?
Why can't a fabulous white-haired Santa Claus looking man, like, have decided to make a theme park on this island featuring Kong?
Just bring Richard Attenborough back from the dead.
Called Kong Skull Island.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
I want to go there, Mom.
Uh-huh.
They have rafts and a water ride.
Rafts?
I don't know. Oh my god, Splash Mountain, but instead it's on a real island and there's a giant gorilla.
Well, it's the same problem with, like, remaking Tarzan, where it's like, A, the story's played out.
Yep.
B, it's
like from an older time.
It's old. What's Sam Jackson doing in all these movies? What's that about?
I don't know. Does he
like,
need money? Is he like...
is he like in a tax dodge situation? Like...
Is he like Johnny Depp where he's just like...
He's just like, I just gotta keep working.
Just gotta pay off those bills. I don't know.
Pay for those islands.
Right?
It just didn't seem fresh.
No.
It seemed very old and dated, and there was parts of it that I liked where it was like cheeseball-y and silly, and there was some funny stuff that was actually
there actually was, right?
There's John C. Reilly shows up and just like a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh boy, oh good.
Yeah.
Love me some John C. Reilly.
Everybody keep your wigs on now.
He shows up as this wacky soldier that's been stuck on the island since the 40s.
Well, so, okay, I have some ideas on how I would want to fix it. Okay, so it starts, and it's like this gorgeous beach or whatever, right?
It starts and it's Wonder Woman.
Basically, it's like, ooh, gorgeous beach.
This,
this plane crashing on the beach.
Paradise Beach. I mean, I know that's not anything new, but it just seems like
over and over again this year.
Utopia, goal that's in everyone's mind is let's go to Hawaii. Maybe because all the actors and directors are like, let's take a vacation in Hawaii.
43 days on Hawaii.
Film this movie.
Where Tom Hiddleston's staying at the Four Seasons for fucking a month and a half. Yes, please sign me up for that shit.
I mean, that's why 6 Days, 7 Nights got made. Harrison Ford was like, oh, I can fly my plane around Hawaii? Yeah, I'll make this movie, sure.
That's why Couples Retreat got made.
Oh boy, is that why Couples Retreat got made.
So anyway, so it starts and this plane crashes and then there's like, this pretty little young white boy.
Yeah.
And then this young Japanese guy and they start fighting and there's like this horrific scene where he grabs the katana with his bare hands and it's like,
I hate it.
And then Kong shows up, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I would have loved. Mm-hmm. Not loved, but whatever. What I much would have preferred.
I want to watch a Swiss Family Robinson version of those two guys slowly becoming friends, maybe lovers, and, just like learning how to live on the island, discovering the natives. What's this? What's going on?
Can I share some fun, weird thing with you?
What?
So apparently there's like a new term called bro sex?
Is it like prison gay?
Basically, it's the idea, like, apparently, like, rural dudes are just, like, full-on fucking each other.
But it's not gay.
It's not gay, it's just helping a buddy out. But, like, sure, that's always been, like, a thing, right? Or whatever, like, it's, like, apparently just more of a thing now. It's, like, a full-on termed, like, whatever, we're just, like, blowing each other, because, like, who else is gonna do it?
These fucking uptight ladies won't blow us. Help a bro out. So they're island gay. They're deserted island gay.
Exactly. No, but here's what I want.
Okay, great.
So John C. Reilly's character introduces us to, like, this native group of humans that live here and, like, are harmonious and they've built walls to keep them safe from all of these creepy dinosaur things. But Kong is, like, in a symbiotic-ish relationship with them. Although not really so symbiotic. He just kind of protects them.
He's their protector and he's their god.
What I would have preferred. Airplane fighter guys fall and they're like, fight, and then instead they find Kong and this group of people that have this symbiotic relationship, right? And they're just like living, we scratched your back, Kong, we give you like protective mud baths, and then you protect us from all of these evil other things. And then you sustain injuries and we fix you, and it's just a circle.
Yeah.
Lovely. Then they're like, okay, this is all great, but like, we want to go.
That was interesting that they were like, they're enemies initially, and then they grow to become best friends, but we never see that happen. And I was like, So I would have liked that, and then they escape. Maybe maybe the guy dies. Maybe just the Japanese guy escapes to tell the tale.
Sure.
And John C. Reilly's still stuck there, and that's why they run into him.
Then he goes and is like, look, dude, there's like this crazy, like, monkey and these evil things that are like constantly trying to kill him. And so then they send this whole like big brigade. Maybe,
and they think it's going to be all copacetic, but then it turns into, they're secret assholes or something.
Exactly. But then Sam Jackson's like, nah, I gotta kill everyone. And they're like, no, fuck you.
Speaking of, one of the military guys who has a very thick southern drawl.
The refuel team will meet us here on the north end of the island. That may be our only safe departure window for an unknown period of time.
Is the crazy scene-chewing monkey from whichever Planet of the Apes movie we watched? War of the Planet of the Apes?
That was this one.
Oh dear. Return of the Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
No.
Silence of the Planet of the Apes.
That's not a movie. And he was chewing through the scenery in a CGI character, and I will always remember him. Oh my god, we didn't talk about the storm. They're getting there, they're on this big aircraft carrier, they've got all these helicopters, and then there's this huge storm, and it's like, is the rhino from James and the Giant Peach just gonna come like roaring out of this thing? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with all the animals that are on this island. Would you have been surprised if a flying rhino had come
rewatch
out
that
of that
movie
storm?
too.
It's so good.
So good.
And then they fly all these helicopters directly into a hurricane, and it seems like a really bad idea.
Like open helicopters.
Oh yeah, full on.
Like open side. What? Nonsense. Why? Doesn't make any sense. Can we talk about Brie Larson?
Sure. So Brie Larson plays a photojournalist. It was very much, there's an episode of Quantum Leap where it's like a Vietnam flashback, or not flashback, the whole show's a flashback, but jumping around time. And there's like this lady who's like real sassy bitch, and she's a photographer, and she's really fabulous, and I wanted her to be more like that. And she was just kind of there.
She was mostly just kind of there. She's like a little boring and whatever. There's just this whole montage. So definitely created a drinking game.
Oh boy, yes.
We'll pause and we'll do the Kong Skull Island drinking game.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I don't know. I'm a little bit drunk.
Well, sure. So here it is, the Kong Skull Island drinking game. First and foremost, every time Brie Larson takes a photo.
Now, is it every time she takes a photo, or every time she takes a photo and they show her picture frozen in black and white?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it should just be they show the photo, because otherwise you'll be wasted.
I mean, you're going to be wasted anyway.
Oh, sure.
Every time a brand new crazy creature shows up.
Oh, yes.
Drink.
Anytime there's a reference from Sam Jackson of like, oh, what do I do now? Like, there's no more war.
Sure. Every time it's specifically addressed.
He makes a speech.
Statement. Every time there is a shot where something is reflected in something else.
Definitely.
Drink.
That's like a double drink maybe. But no, you would be dead.
The waterfall?
It's just no, just a drink, because you would die. Every time John C. Reilly says this is a bad idea. No, says this is a no-no. That's what he says. That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
This place is a real no-no.
Every time a new knife is introduced.
Oh my gosh.
Or sword, or...
You'll like drink 8 times in the first scene. Every time there's a different classic rock song that's been featured in a different war movie.
A different Vietnam specific
Vietnam movie.
Every time there's just like really obvious and blatant references to either Full Metal Jacket or Platoon.
Sure.
Like when like Silver Foxy guy decides he's gonna blow himself up with the grenades, and he's just like, and it's like literally the poster from Platoon. And you're like, oh, great.
But then...
So this is just Platoon?
Then he just gets smack-tailed into
I
a
mean,
wall.
the choices made by characters. I don't know. Like, I was like, what was the plan? Was he sacrificing himself?
Yes.
But then it
It backfired.
It just backfired?
Oops.
There was a few things that I liked in this movie.
Yeah.
There was a couple of, like, exchanges that were really funny.
Yes.
They get there, they've had this whole, Kong has destroyed most of them. Just there's a really long sequence about killing all of these helicopters. And Silver Foxy guy, I mean, he's not really a Silver Fox. He's sort of like more handsome Steve Zahn. They've all crashed, and not Steve Zahn is eating what looks to be cat food of some kind.
Yeah, it was real gross.
It's really gross. And the other guy is like, how can you even think about eating right now?
We just got taken down by a monkey the size of a building.
Yeah. That was an unconventional encounter.
He's just like, look, I gotta do what I can do for me. I like that attitude. And then when they're talking, they've met John C. Reilly. He's like, I'm a quirky, crazy guy, or whatever. They're in the ancient temple and all this stuff, and they have this funny interchange about the big bad dinosaur skull, skull crawlers.
But I call them skull crawlers.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, that seems like...
I like the names.
There was some, like, meta...
Yes.
Like, playing with the genre silliness that was going on. That
Which I liked,
appreciate.
yeah,
and
I
that
agree.
was funny. I just think I'm never really gonna love a King Kong movie.
No.
Like, I don't know if it's ever gonna be my thing.
No. And then everything else was just so absurd. Like, the fact that there's, like, stupid dinosaurs that are coming out and eating people.
But, like, that's King Kong.
Is it?
Yeah, there's T-Rexes in the original 30s one. That's, like, the thing. So I just, like, I don't think it's my thing.
No.
What was that movie I watched? This awful King Kong ripoff. It seems like it was called Mighty Joe Young, but that's an actual other movie about a big monkey.
Not that big.
But that's not what I'm thinking.
See the beautiful jungle goddess. She was orphaned as a child and raised by mighty Peking Man.
Is that Charlize?
It's either Charlize or like Jenna Elfman.
I think it's Charlize. I'm like 98% sure it's Charlize. And I think it might be a good movie.
No. Don't lie to yourself.
Are you sure?
We can watch it.
I think maybe we should.
Well, we definitely have to watch George of the Jungle, right?
Oh, God.
Like, that's happening?
Sure. But also, I think we might have to watch Mighty Joe Young.
Okay.
And maybe also Operation Dumbo Drop.
Is that the one with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Or is that the one with Danny Glover?
Both?
There's like 2 elephant-related movies that came out, and one of them has Bill Murray, or one of them has Danny Glover, and I don't
know. And, I appreciate that Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson didn't fuck, but at the same time, I
wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Like, even if it doesn't have to be like, oh, now we're in love. What if it's just like, we've been on this ship for a while? And maybe she's just like a progressive 70s woman who's like, yeah, let's fuck.
Let's do it.
Oh, no, I don't want to date you.
No.
You're clearly emotionally damaged.
You're a hot guy.
Maybe she cuts her arm. Maybe he has to take his shirt off, apply a tourniquet. I don't know. Who writes this stuff? Come on! I was like, this was primed for him to be like, oh no, my shirt is needed for a tourniquet?
Yeah. Oh, it was torn by this,
this giant lizard perfectly right on my abs? To make a crop top?
Yes.
Can we talk about the fucking funniest part of the whole movie? So they go into the elephant graveyard in Lion King.
Oh my gosh.
And
no king, na 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 na. Mufasa.
I gotta rewatch Lion King.
God, so many good movies from the 90s.
Good. Anyway, so yes, they're going through the elephant graveyard. All of a sudden, they have a flamethrower.
Oh, yeah.
But they have not used it all in the course of this movie. Oh, he's do your thing, so-and-so.
Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Oh, he didn't do that for the giant spider? Oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
Do your thing!
And then they have toxic gas, just generic toxic gas. This bright green.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is absolutely the funniest part.
Absolutely the best part of the movie. John C. Reilly's cutting things with his katana, and Tom Hiddleston goes, "Sword me!" And he like simultaneously catches the sword and puts on the gas mask, and then it's like running through green gas, cutting up all these pterodactyls
that like
birds.
bleed blue.
And he's just like running through them just with the gas. Oh, it was so funny.
Oh my god.
And then he takes the mask off while he's still engulfed in the gas.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
And he was just fine.
He was fine.
So I think my favorite part of the movie, other than the katana gas mask scene, is John C. Reilly, because they try to insert sort of drama or some kind of feelings into this movie, or like it really doesn't matter. But John C. Reilly is like apparently been hanging out with these natives who are mute for the last 28 years, 30 years? Is that 30 years?
And yet they don't seem to
He's a real chatty Cathy. I mean, I get it. He hasn't talked to somebody in who knows how long. But anyway, he's like saying goodbye to them. And he's on this boat and he's literally like, bye. And it was like, Mr. Cellophane. And it was amazing.
It's just like, he stands like this for like a long time.
Could you say my name, Mr. Cellophane? I mean, it was like,
you can see right through me. Walk right by me.
I hope it was on purpose.
I hope so too. I like that.
Just starts putting on sad clown makeup. It's a real performance art.
Yeah.
So it was this sort of wacky, campy, old school movie in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
But then it would do stuff like at the end. So Sam Jackson is like, I'm gonna kill Kong, and he sets him on fire. It's this whole thing, and Kong is passed out, and then Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson and John C. Reilly show up, and you're
can't
fully
do this.
expecting like a monologue about.
And she's just like, you can't.
Stop! The world is bigger than this.
Bitch, please!
Bitch, please! And I was like, what movie is this?
Also, what time is this?
What time period is this? This movie's weird. So then in the final fight scene, Kong suddenly, he turns like a chain and a propeller into like a mace.
Oh my gosh,
and just sort of attack. I mean, that was like pretty cool.
It was cool. It was stupid, but
like,
it was
fun. It was
fun.
cool because it was so silly.
Yes.
And the movie didn't...
It seemed to get it. Like, it knew that it was silly.
The best thing this movie did was it didn't take itself seriously.
Yes.
I mean, it was sort of pretentious in its, like, vague themes about Vietnam and like, ripping off movies that already existed. But other than that, it was very silly.
Yes.
And I was like, that was the right choice.
Yes.
That was definitely the right choice. So they all escape. They rendezvous, I'm assuming, with whoever. You know, everyone's died except for, like, 5 of them. And... John C. Reilly keeps talking about reuniting with his family that thinks he's dead, presumes he's dead.
Oh my gosh.
Missing for 30 years.
So then during the end credits...
A weird 16mm student film about John C. Reilly returning home.
But they had like 8 16mm cameras apparently because there's just coverage of everything.
There's so much coverage. It should have been like, this would have been stupid, but like, Brie Larson reporting for Channel 9,
sure.
you know, as the soldier comes home or whatever, because then at least it would have made sense, but you were like, who's filming this? So, I don't know. Don't watch this, but like, you can watch it.
Like, I wouldn't pay money for it, but like, you could definitely watch it on like some sort of Netflix-y, like...
It was silly enough.
It's so silly. Play the drinking game and just have fun. Just have fun.
And if you like King Kong, I feel like you would like this.
Maybe.
Like, it was certainly better than the Peter Jackson one.
I don't remember, but probably. Blocked it out of my memory.
Good.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's bad.
It's bad, but it's real fun.
But sort of on purpose.
Cheers to this stupid movie.